criminal justice system, some threats can't be seen, only sensed. On the front lines are canine handlers and their dogs. One trained by discipline, the other driven by instinct. Together they search, track, and take down those who run. This is their training.
Good morning. And welcome to K9 School 2025. Normally our days will start, they're usually always going to start with tracking. That's typically how it's going to go, but we're going to have classroom. I'd say at least 3 out of 5 days a week we'll be having some classroom sessions. There's a good bit of material we're going to be going through, and some of it's fairly deep, and it's supportive for me that you guys have a good understanding of what we're doing and why we're doing it and kind of how we got here.
My name is Sergeant Ryan Leggett, and I am the supervisor for the K9 unit. The big thing for us, we're looking for quality over quantity. We want folks that are going to be good fits for the unit and that are able to do this job. I mean, it's really tough to be a police officer. It's even tougher to be a police officer and manage this piece of equipment that has its own mind and own thoughts and feelings and abilities and desires. And it's really a lot to take in. So having a good head on your shoulders, being a good decision maker is probably the number one criteria we're looking for in, prospective new handlers, and making sure they're able to handle that big responsibility.
We are going to be touching the dogs 95% of the time in the beginning. The 5% you guys will be touching the dog is taking him from the car and handing him to one of us, and then when we give him back to you to go put in the car, and also to take him for breaks.
My name is Taylor Hager, and I've been with CMPD for almost 10 years. I'm just looking forward to the journey of it. I know it's going to be a long, slow, kind of tedious journey, just based on what I'm hearing from the training, but just really looking forward to the outcome.
As the school progresses, you will see that percentage shift, right? It'll become less and less us, more and more you, to the point where we get to the end. The majority of the school is going to be pretty scenario based, or we're not only going to test your ability as a handler, your performance, ability with the dog, but also your understanding of when I should use this thing. Just because I give you a hammer doesn't mean everything you're going to encounter from here on out is going to be a nail, right? You have to be very deliberate with how we use this piece of equipment.
I'm K9s Iacoves. I've been with CMPD for going on 6 years now. So I've been training with this unit for approximately 4 years before I actually got this position. After training with this unit for so long and seeing what our dogs are actually capable of and how well trained the unit is, I knew that this is the only place in the department that I wanted to be.
It is an extremely valuable tool. The tool that we're going to put in your hands is going to save lives. It's going to keep officers safe. It's going to make us more efficient with our time. Things these dogs can do are amazing.
My name is Joseph Helms. I started at CMPD in 2015, so I've been here almost 10 years. Did majority of my career in the Westover Division, and I'm the new canine handler on the K9 unit. And obviously, working on the crime reduction unit for years, that's how I've met, Hager, Iacoves, the 2 other guys coming to the unit as well with us.
If we're not intelligent with how we deploy this tool, you guys can lose your job. You guys can make us lose our jobs. As far as you guys losing your freedom, we'll talk about some cases in here where handlers have not been intelligent with how they deploy, and they're in prison right now. So we've got to be very deliberate with how we use this tool. You guys have anything you want to add before we get started?
It's a building process, step by step. It will be a building process when you leave the school. If it's not, you're failing as a handler. Plain and simple. We tell people that at demos. We truly mean it. When people ask, how long does training take? Everybody's like, 12 weeks, 16 weeks. No, it's for the life of that dog. If that dog's not continually learning, that dog's failing.
So come in, guys, have fun, learn the training, understand what's going on with the training, and have fun training your dogs. Come here closed mind and thinking, whatever stuff. You're going to get frustrated. It's a good time. Training dogs, getting them from green to working is a fun process. It's a tedious process, but keep that in mind.
Being around the K9 unit for all these years, working with them, all different cases, scenes, stuff like that. It's pretty cool, so that's definitely what turned my interest onto the unit.
I was at a agency in Gaston County for about 10 years, about 8.5 to 9 of those were with the K9 unit there in Mount Holly, and I worked two dogs during my time there.
So I've spent all 6 years in North Tryon. During my time there, I was a PTO, training the newer officers. I was also afforded the opportunity very early in my career to go to rifle school. So rifle and K9 kind of go hand in hand. So that's how I actually got my first introduction to K9.
You guys are going to watch us go with the dogs, and like even today, when we do our first obedience session, face value is going to look, we're just trying to feed the dogs out of our hand, right? And we're going to start working on, when we're talking about the classic conditioning and primary and secondary reinforcers here in a second. But I'm sure some dogs, one of your dogs is going to be a monster for food, and some of the dogs probably not going to care about it very much at all, right? And you're going to see this trend continue throughout the school. You're going to have one dog that's going to look like an amazing tracker, and one dog that looks like he doesn't want to touch the ground with his nose. You're going to have one dog who loves odors. You're going to have one dog who doesn't seem like he likes them at all. And you're going to do this throughout the school, all right? You're going to feel like everybody else's dog is here and my dog is here. All right, don't sweat that. That happens with everybody.
K9 Officer Tucker that's on the unit, he's one of the senior guys on the unit. When I started, even on third shift in Westover, just tracking with him on third shift, just kind of, I'd say, planted that seed, of interest and something I always wanted to pursue. And like I said, I'm very, very fortunate it worked out.
When I came to Charlotte, I was looking for just different opportunity. After doing that for so long, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. There's just so much opportunity here within this agency. But after working here for a while, yeah, it was pretty quick decision to want to start working back towards making the K9 unit.
Next, you're gonna feel, not so much now, probably somewhere around week 8. You're gonna be like, man, we're really behind. There's no way we're gonna finish all this. There's no way we're gonna have this dog ready with the amount of time that we have left. Like, we're really behind, that we haven't gotten anything accomplished. Not for you guys to worry about. We spend a tremendous amount of time establishing a communication system with the dog. Yes, we like that. No, we don't like that. We spend a lot of time on the foundation of our house, all right? That way we can build a really strong, sturdy house on top of that. Once we get that really strong foundation, the other stuff comes fairly quickly. That's when it gets really cool, because this will be the emotional state you get. And you can write this down, make in your notebook, make a note of it, that you're gonna be like, okay, this is really exciting and fun. Okay, we're really behind, this is getting repetitive. Oh my God, my dog sucks. Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna have to get a new dog? Am I gonna be behind? What's wrong with my dog? Why is he doing this? We're gonna ask you to do this task. There's no way my dog's gonna do this task. There's no way he's gonna, oh my God, my dog did that, right? That's generally the progression I see with handlers as they go through.
With staffing and whatnot throughout the last few months, we've been kind of, coming to training and whatnot, and kind of halfway on the team, but still helping our patrol districts out that we came from as well. So I think it's refreshing for not only me, but the 2 other new guys as well, to finally be over here and just get started and get to work.
In this first session of obedience training, it's a challenge just to get the dog's attention long enough to feed them a treat. Over the next 16 weeks, however, these canines will become exceptional at following any command given. But for now, it's a rough start.
His name's Cam. I'm a big sports fan, Carolina Panthers. My man Cam Newton, he was a beast on the field. I'm sure Cam will be a beast out on the street, so we're rocking with the name Cam, but he seems like a great dog. Like I said, even the limited interactions I've had with him, the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's awesome. So I'm looking forward to keep working with him side by side.
The process, at least in my opinion, is very objective. If you're qualified, you'll get an interview. If you do well on your interview, you'll get the job. To me, this job's kind of like a niche. I think if you ask any officer, they'll be able to tell you, hey, I like doing traffic stops, or I like doing drug work or something like that. For me, and I can only assume for the other two, that it's violent crime, and that's kind of what brought them here.
My dog is lucky. He is definitely ready. He's a handful. Just going through school with two officers that I've worked with over the years, solid guys, and looking forward to the memories. In terms of the K9 part, I really like tracking. That's something I really want to focus on, or that's what I enjoy the most.
The dogs aren't the only ones in training. Although these handlers have been CMPD officers for several years, they will also be studying case law related to canine operations. This way, they will know exactly how they can use their canine partners in the field.
All right, so the first one I had was United States versus Race. This is the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals from 1976. So February 4th, 1976, a U.S. Customs agent, Michael Murphy, and his canine were inspecting American Airlines warehouse at Logan Airport, which contained both domestic and international cargo with approximately 300 cargo crates. Murphy's canine was a narcotics detection dog and was released off-lead into the warehouse. During his area search, the canine indicated target odor for controlled substances on two of the large wooden crates and issued what Murphy testified to as a strong alert. He stated the dog began to bark, bite, and scratch at the two wooden crates. Upon inspection, the crate documentation indicated that it was sent from Phoenix, Arizona to a Professor James Race, and they weigh approximately 270 pounds. Murphy then began to open the crates by removing two of the outer boards, and while doing so, the airline employees actually notified him that Mr. Race was there to pick up his cargo, physically at the warehouse. At that point, Murphy stuck a knife through the cracks in the boards and detected the odor of marijuana on the blade. While the airline employees stalled Race, Murphy called the DEA. When the DEA arrived, Murphy informed them on basically the situation and demonstrated to them the strong alert that the dog had on the two wooden crates. DEA agents concealed themselves while Race claimed his cargo and loaded them into his own vehicle. When he entered the driver's seat of the vehicle, agents moved in to detain him. After detention, agents asked for consent to search the crates, and no consent was given. They informed him he was under arrest and read his Miranda rights. Race requested to speak with an attorney regarding his rights, which he was provided. After approximately an hours-long conversation, he signed written consent to search the cargo in which marijuana was found. During his hearing, the district court denied his motion to suppress the marijuana into evidence, claiming that officers had probable cause to arrest, and the subsequent search of the crates was actually voluntarily consented to. He was convicted, and then he appealed his decision to the First Circuit Court of Appeals. Upon appeal, he challenged three things.
1, that the arrest was unsupported by probable cause. 2, that the consent of the subsequent search was not voluntary. And 3, that even if he did consent to the search after his arrest, the search was unlawfully tainted because Murphy actually inserted his blade into the crates. So essentially on the appeal, what happened was that the court upheld the conviction, stating that Murphy's K9 only issued a strong alert to the 2 crates in the warehouse that contained approximately 300 crates. Murphy testified that he had been working with this dog for approximately 2 years and that his dog had undergone intensive drug detection training, as well as 4 hours of weekly follow-up training. Murphy's K9 at that point also had 2 years worth of experience, in which Murphy testified that when the dog gave a strong alert, Murphy stated invariably led to the presence of marijuana, hashish, cocaine, or heroin. The courts found that the agents were entitled to rely on Murphy's expertise in the field, as well as his expertise in reading his K9's alert behavior. In addition, Reese also identified himself to the employee as the consignee of the crates. Agents observed him placing the crates into his own car and getting into the vehicle to drive away with the crates, as well as the written consent that he gave.
Very well done. You guys have any questions on that? I mean, you touched on pretty much everything we were looking for, especially as far as the dog alert's concerned. And again, I mean, you guys know, you've been doing this long enough that your training and experience, and it's going to matter when it comes to deploying your dog, reading your dog's behavior, you know, being able to fall back on, hey, we've done XYZ in school. You will have the national certification that we do every year, but a lot of that's going to come down to you guys individually and being able to articulate what you see out of your dog.
Officers use pieces of hot dogs to begin scent training exercises. These treats encourage the dogs to focus on the smell of crushed vegetation, an important skill for tracking suspects who flee crime scenes on foot.
The building blocks of dog training are very short, very sweet. Dogs learn, you know, have short attention spans, so it's a building block system. To see the progress though, just in 5 days is amazing. The dog paying attention to more to certain things, realizing when it's in a different environment, they kind of block things out now and pay more attention to the trainers and kind of the task at hand. My previous dog at another agency, he seems to be very well-rounded. Seems to be sociable, picking things up real quick, also seems just very quick to want to work, very driven. My previous dog was a Malinois as well, so I'm kind of familiar with their traits.
A vanished scent and a relentless nose. Next week on Paw and Order, these 4-legged trackers chase the invisible.